we need to address something that came to my attention. And it involves juror number 58, who was on seating chart number 40, initials LB. This morning,
what was the juror number you said?
Juror number 58 on seating chart number 40, LB,
Okay,
who is now the second alternate.
Yes, sir.
And it came to my attention this morning that he asked court security a question, did not do it in front of any member of the panel, but just stepped out and asked court security a question. And the question was this: essentially, what if I have questions? Can I ask them now, or do we wait till the end? The court security officer simply said, usually you wait to the end, and then they write the question on a piece of paper and submit it to the court. So I wanted to bring that to the party's attention, just to get that on the record. This did not occur in front of any of the other jurors. It just occurred between this one juror and the court security officer. Also note this is the second alternate as well. So I wanted to bring it to y'all's attention that that question had been asked, and that the court security answered with what would be our normal protocol anyway. So any comments on that?
Would the court be inclined to bring them out and at least put on the record that we were aware that he had that question, and perhaps address it at that particular time, whichever way the court wants to, but I think it needs to be acknowledged in an overabundance of caution.
Mr. Alderman?
I mean, yes, I guess it would depend as to what the question is. It a question about the case or evidence, which I think would be natural for all the jurors to have questions. Obviously, we're halfway through a trial. Or is it a question about something more procedural?
In talking to court security, their feeling was that it was more procedural, like how is a trial conducted. That was their impression.
Because I think if there's questions of that nature, the court may be able to answer.
Right.
So I guess I would agree with Mr. Matthews. If the court wants to bring him out and ask him that question by himself.
But when I give him the instruction about questions, I'm only giving him that one instruction. I'm not telling the other jurors that.
I mean, it may be something that we may need then to provide to all of the jurors. Like I said, if
I could always just give them that instruction. I could do it now, and just say something to the effect of, "I'm going to give you an additional instruction," and I mean that way that avoids that juror. And then somebody asks the question, and then he just answers it.
That's fine with me, Your Honor.
Let me pull out that particular instruction. I know it's in the closing comments. I think Mr. Alderman's right. I mean, obviously, the jurors, are going to have questions throughout the trial in their mind because they haven't heard all the evidence. So,
And as the court is aware, that's a short, very short passage anyway, so
what now?
that particular portion of the,
What I think
real brief.
Yeah, what I'll read is, I'll just say, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I'm going to give you an additional instruction. If you need to communicate with me, please send a note through court security. If you have a question, if you need to communicate with me, send a note through court security. In this case, any questions you may have, you will have an opportunity after all the evidence has been presented to ask any questions you may have. I will answer any questions if I can in writing or orally here in open court.
Satisfactory of the defense, Your Honor.
Mr. Alderman?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And I don't know if the court wants to also give a gentle reminder to all the members of the jury not to discuss the case or anything with anybody.
I concur, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, let me. So this is how I think I'm going to do it. If you need to communicate with me, send a note through court security. Any questions you may have need to wait until deliberations begin. I will answer any questions if I can in writing or orally here in open court. Does that sound good?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
It's fine with the defense, Your Honor.
Okay. Okay. Anything else that we need to address?
Not about defense, Your Honor.
Okay. Just briefly, Judge, and I did address it about, and I know we discussed at length yesterday the camera issue. But something was brought to my attention yesterday when we were sitting here talking about the autopsy photos. I was contacted out by people saying that the contents of my laptop were being shown on the recording, including as I'm going through the autopsy photos.
Okay.
Which I was told would not happen. Obviously, I can't get away from the camera. It's right over my shoulder, and but I feel like I have nowhere to go. But I don't think that my laptop should be shown on the recording. I know the court's hands are very limited.
I would just ask if.
And I did address it. And
the shot not included, and it's.
Yes, sir.
Right. It's the structure of this courtroom.
Yes, sir.
Just makes it very difficult when we have live feeds, and that's not their fault. I mean, that's not their fault. It's just kind of the structure of the courtroom and where cameras placed to avoid, obviously, showing the jurors. So anyway, but hopefully that won't happen. And,
Yes, sir.
okay.